Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the IETE approved national level webinar on AI in healthcare. The webinar is organized by Research and Development Cell of Saraswati College of Engineering, Navi Mumbai. Respected Principal Madam, Dr. Manjusha Deshmukh, all Head of Departments, Dean, Faculty members, my colleague, and dear participants. I, Dr.
Ma'am,
Soumya Singh, on behalf of R&D Cell, welcome all of you for this national level webinar. Talking about the webinar, AI in healthcare has become widely discussed topics in the area of life sciences and healthcare over the last several years. Today, a lot of healthcare organizations express their interest in new opportunities, which is associated with the use of artificial intelligence for various purposes. But still, a considerable gap exists when it comes to proper understanding of new technologies by healthcare professionals. Therefore, this webinar has been organized with the aim of achieving clarity about the application of AI in healthcare. We have amongst us the speaker, Dr. Deepa Parasar, to talk about AI in healthcare and give a clear understanding about the topic. Before I invite Dr. Parasar, I would like to request all participants to put their queries that they may have during the webinar in the chat box, and it would be addressed at the end of the session. Let me give a brief introduction about our speaker to all the participants. Dr. Deepa Parasar is presently Associate Professor in MIT University, Mumbai. She has teaching experience of 16 years. Her areas of interest includes machine learning, artificial neural network, and deep learning. She has published many papers in national and international journals as well as conferences. She has about 3 patents filed on her name. It is our pleasure to have such a knowledgeable speaker amongst us. I welcome you, ma'am, on behalf of Saraswati College of Engineering. I request you to please give your expert talk.
Thank you, Soumya ma'am. I'm very thankful to Manjusha ma'am and Suhasini for giving me an opportunity to share my information regarding AI in healthcare with the participants here. Thank you, ma'am. So, ma'am, am I audible and the screen is visible to everyone?
Yes, ma'am, you are audible. Screen is also
Thank you, ma'am.
visible.
So, I'll start, ma'am. Artificial intelligence in healthcare. As nowadays, artificial intelligence seems to be the very upcoming buzzword because it's going to be applicable in all the different fields. All the different fields are going to apply healthcare, artificial intelligence in them. AI playing a very vital role. Why we say like this? Few years back, it was like that whenever the word AI we were listening from anyone, we were presuming it like a science fiction. It was like a science fiction or some animation in a movie or something which we are planning to do. But nowadays, we can't say like this. AI has evolved a lot. It has emerged in so many different ways. AI is playing a very important role in different applications, and in day-to-day life, millions of people are using those applications, and sometimes we are even unaware that the AI is the basic concept behind the
अरे
applications
सर
which
लाइव
we are
येतोय?
using it. So, in today's sessions,
ओ
I'm going to cover some few details regarding what is an intelligence, what artificial intelligence means to us, what are the different applications of artificial intelligence, and the main point for today's important session, that is the importance of artificial intelligence in healthcare. So first we'll try to understand what is the human intelligence. Human intelligence, a very broad term and very much required. Not only today, but in all the eras, this human intelligence was playing a very important role. It is consisting of the abilities like learning, reasoning, perceiving, understanding of language, feeling. But what all these five terms means? Intelligence means grasping the thing, whatever we learn in the different modes, whatever comes to us, understanding it in a manner they are presented to us. Everything is not going to be presented in a similar order every time. Either it is a daily to daily life course or some course works or any other thing. Our brain is in a learning phase. Any new things comes to us, we try to learn it. What the learning means: acquiring the knowledge, acquiring the skills, understanding the concept of working behind it. These all consist of the learning phase. During learning, we have to understand what the things are, and it is a continuous process. Learning never happens like that. We understood the thing, we worked on it, and we have to stop. It is the phase of a life which is going to be a continuous process, and we have to keep on learning it. Reasoning. After learning, a very important part comes here for reasoning. When we understand what actually is going to happen, then what is the conscience behind it? What is the sense of working of those particular things? Applying the logic and understanding it in a way so that it can be perceived in order for some organization or in the form of some product. That is the next stage for the human intelligence, that is perceiving. So we have learned the things, we have analyzed it, we came to know what's the working behind it, we came to know regarding the logic of the working of it in terms of reasoning. Then when we are applying it for the development of a product or to make it applicable somewhere else, it is perceiving. Another main important part for human intelligence is understanding of language. It might happen with all of us that sometimes we might have met someone who is not able to understand our language. Like, I'm capable to talk in Hindi and English, but not much capable to talk in Marathi language. But it has never happened that if I'm talking to someone slowly by residing in Mumbai, I have understood the language and how this came to. This is a learning phase. With the face concept and the understanding of the facial expressions and the sign language, it happens with other languages also. We try to understand the way of communication. That is another type of intelligence, understanding the language, understanding the mode of communication. Feeling. It's related to our emotional intelligence also. What is a feeling? We feel about everything. Either it's going to relate it to our career, our family, or any social activity. Feeling is also playing important role. If we feel like we have to do something, definitely it's a strong willpower which makes us to do. So feeling, it is also related to the intelligence. These are the five main basic composition of the human intelligence: learning, reasoning, perceiving, understanding of language, and feeling. So, how we can summarize the intelligence? The ability to learn or understand from experience, the ability to acquire and retain the knowledge, the ability to respond quickly and successfully to a new situation, the ability to use reason to solve problems. So, if we are going to say intelligence is learning, understanding, retaining, responding, and using reason, then what is AI? Because these things are there for the AI also. When we think about AI, we need these things to be applied in AI. So, how we are going to define artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence, it is the branch of computer science that emphasizes the development of intelligent machines thinking and working like humans. So we can say artificial intelligence deals with development of a machine which is going to work in a way prior which for which we have assumed that human brain is required. Nowadays, as we are living in an era which is related to data, data is getting enormously increased. Lot of data we have, and we can say that data is our asset now. We want to preserve our data. Even a simple pen drive get lost, we get so much worried. We want our pen drive get back soon because so many data are there in our pen drive. Instead, if we are comparing it to a loss of a money, we are more conscious regarding the data because they are very important to us. Even our all certificates document, we are scanning them and we are storing it as a very valuable documents. So to deal with those data, how to utilize those data in a proper way, which can be utilized for development of any product and it can be beneficial towards society. The concept of big data is there, and big data with respect to artificial intelligence is going to develop the products which are going to be utilized in a proper manner. As industry analysts argue always that the artificial intelligence is the future, but is the statement correct? Can we say still artificial intelligence is the future? No. We are convinced that so many further progress is required in AI. They are much needed also, But in present also, we are 90% dependent upon AI. So many things are there. Even for a shopping, we used to do the online shoppings. We see the recommendations given to us. How these recommendation systems work. All these are based upon the AI. So, as a summarization, I can define AI deals with development of a machine which is going to work in a similar manner as our human brains were assumed to be worked. So, AI is a modeling human cognition using computers. It is making a study of computers to do the things which at the moment people are better at, making computers to do the things which require intelligence. So it is mapping our whole brain system to the machines. There are four basic approaches for artificial intelligence, which are being usually being referred for AI, that are thinking humanly, thinking rationally, acting humanly, acting rationally. Thinking humanly and thinking rationally, these are the aspects which are mainly related to logics, reasoning, and the way we are going to interpret the things. But the last two, that is acting humanly and acting rationally, these are related to the behaviors. Whatever is being understood, how this is going to be applied, how these behaviors are going to be implicated. Next, we are going to see what are the different types of artificial intelligence, the different applications which are going to be divided under these basic categories of artificial intelligence. So there are broader four categories for the artificial intelligence, that is reactive machines, limited memory, self-aware, and theory of mind. What is this reactive machines are? So this reactive machines has no memory, they only respond to stimuli. Means for any reaction, reactive machines work in a way that they will respond only to the current scenario. If any scenario is being given to us without any prior experience, our reactive machines are going to work. So, the most basic type of AI systems are purely reactive. We can see that all the basic core systems for AI are using the reactive machines, and they have the ability neither to form memories nor to use past experiences to inform current decisions. What can be the different example? Like reactive machines basically doesn't deal with any storage of memory, they only react according to scenario. So one of the best example which we can refer here for reactive machines can be Deep Blue. Deep Blue, it is a software which is being used to play on the chessboard and know how each move is going to be taken further. It can make predictions about what moves might be next for it and its opponent, and it can choose the most optimal move by analyzing the current scenario from the given possibilities, and accordingly it is going to work. But whenever it is taking any move, it is being not known at that time that whatever the prior experiences have been taken through the previous games. Wherever any time Deep Blue has played prior, it is not going to gain any experience from there. It will just play according to the current scenario. It's not going to store its experiences in the memory. All it does is look at the pieces on the chessboard which are available to us, and it stands right now and choose from the possible next move. This type of intelligence involves the computer perceiving the world directly and acting on what it sees. It doesn't rely on the concept of the world like storage of a memory. It just reacts in a way the things are coming to it. Moving on to the next type of artificial intelligence, limited memory. Usually we call it as a type 2 of AI, and in this machines are going to have some amount of memory, and these memories are being used to store your previous experiences. So we are having the experience, and these experiences are being used to improve our response. So what it does here, that one of the best example we can refer for limited memory can be our driverless cars. How driverless cars are working, self-driving cars. They are pre-programmed representations of the world. But if we are going to compare these self-drive cars with the current cars, which are more better and having the more features of the deep learning and AI, are not suitable in this category. For the limited memory, we can consider the example for the driverless cars, which were initially designed and they were just capable to take any decision which has been fed to them prior, like traffic signals movement, how to change the lane, how to follow the traffic lights, and all this. But they were not so much capable to do all the processes at the time. These type of cars are to be in the continuous monitoring, but they are better in a way that they are going to be the safe, as they are making the human drivers more compatible. They are being monitored, but their fatigue property is getting reduced here. No loss, or there will be no very less chances of accidents in terms of the driverless cars. So limited memory actually deals with where we have some small amount of memory. A few prior experiences are getting stored there. So these type of AI application are mainly used when they have to react on the moment with respect to some prior experiences, but they are lacking in the terms of memory. Another one, the main important one, is the theory of mind. Theory of mind, a very well-known psychological concept, it deals with understanding that people, creatures, and objects in the world can have thoughts and emotions that can affect their own behavior. So how the behavior is going to be affected with respect to the applications. It is better to know more specific to discuss about the type of representation which machine needs to perform and what they need to do about here. So whenever we are working with the theory of mind concept type of artificial intelligence, it is required that your system should be well capable of storing the previous experiences. Your system should also respond based upon current scenario, and also should be capable to respond in terms of any new scenario coming to us, and it can give the response on the basis of whatever the previous experience it has, but it is not compulsory that it's going to predict the things based upon all the training model which it has been trained prior. There can be the new type of data set provided to us, new type of scenario can be given there, and the artificial intelligence system should be capable to respond there. The last one, self-aware. This type of intelligence rarely exists, and even in the current stage also we are in a process of moving to that particular stage, and we have not reached it. We are trying to move to the stage of self-aware. During self-awareness, we can say it is a final AI development stage where your systems are working like humans. They are going to respond in a way as the humans are doing. Are we self-aware? Are we self-conscious? Yes, we are always. For any type of statement, any type of problem, we always think. We always respond in a way after thinking about it. We never do a response in a random order. Rarely it happens. We are responsive after some thought process. So this conscious thing is very important in the case of self-awareness. Conscious beings are aware of themselves, they know what they have to do, and accordingly, they are going to predict the things in the future, and they will self-aware machines are going to work in that order. We are very much far away from creating this self-aware machines. We should so mainly currently all the systems which are getting developed in AI are mainly getting focused with respect to how your system is going to work, how your system is responding with respect to some previous experiences, and maybe there are a few possible cases in theory of mind scenario also, but self-aware case is still needed to be much to be evolved now. So basic four different type of models which are needed here are reactive machines, limited memory, theory of mind, self-aware. Subsets of artificial intelligence. Why this subset of artificial intelligence is needed? That is the discipline for the artificial intelligence. The different disciplines which are there for the artificial intelligence are: the first basic subset or the discipline which is there in the artificial intelligence is machine learning. Next one is the neural network, then deep learning. AI, it comprises of all these three, that is machine learning also, neural networks also, and deep learning also. So what is the first machine learning deals with? Machine learning usually deals with the training of a data, that the data set is provided to us based upon the parameters and values given in our data set, our machine is going to respond. A machine is going to perform in a similar way. So basic categories for dividing our algorithms of machine learning is like supervised and unsupervised. Supervised learning algorithms, the machines which are working in a way when the target is known to them, they are aware that what can be the possible outcome, And the way whatever we are designing, it's going to be compared with the outcome, and we can know how we are proceeding. Is this the correct way, or we have to change the way? Another category for the machine learning algorithms is unsupervised learning algorithms. In unsupervised machine learning algorithms, outcome is not known to us. We are not aware what can be the output which is going to be generated. Is it correct or not? So we can say here that based upon the data set, your system is going to identify how the patterns, how the data are related to each other. And based upon the relation of data points to each other, further they are going to be classified and the clusters are being made through some unsupervised learning algorithm. Our recommendation systems are part of the unsupervised machine learning algorithm. So machine learning is the first basic part of the artificial intelligence, which is going to consist of two different algorithms, supervised, unsupervised. Next subset for artificial intelligence is the neural network. Neural networks, these are mainly dealing with the data types related to some logics, where some logic has to be applied, like mathematical logics, or we have to work with the different kinds of input as an images. So if we have to go on with the categorization of image, how the images are going to be classified further, we usually select the neural networks. The last one, and very important and currently very much in evolving stage, is the deep learning subset. Deep learning, it mainly deals with the data, and we can say it is an extension of the neural network where multiple layers are there, and in the hidden layers much higher feature extraction goes taking place at every different layers, and these features are playing the important role in doing the classification process. So, as an overall generalization for the different disciplines which are present there for the artificial intelligence, like machine learning, neural network, and deep learning, it's not possible to say that any application which is able to do in terms of machine learning is also can be categorized as an artificial intelligence. The working between them can be different. We'll see further through some examples how we can differentiate some application as a machine learning application and few applications as an artificial intelligence. Can't the artificial intelligence can be the superset, but with respect to few properties of their own subsets, they will be going to categorize into their own categories. Few examples related to the artificial intelligence which are very much in demand. Predictive analytics, deep learning, these two are dealing with the machine learning process. Text to speech, speech to text, dealing with all the speech content. With respect to vision content, image recognition, machine vision. Natural language processing, it deals with the classification, translation of our languages, data extraction. Expert systems like recommendation systems, planning and optimization, very much helpful for the industries. Robotics, much in demand. Nowadays, so many robotical applications are coming up with respect to the AI combination, and they are working very well. Next, we are going to see what is the importance of artificial intelligence, why everyone needs it, why every discipline is moving towards AI. AI automates repetitive learning and discovery through data. What this repetitive learning and discovery means in terms of data. Every time, whenever the data is presented to us, it is not a scenario as we have seen prior with respect to learning, that learning is going to be done. It's a repetitive process. Whenever the data is arriving to us, we have to keep on learning about it. We have to keep on analyzing what features, what values are being stored in that data, what actually that data wants to convey, what is the content behind the presentation of data, and what will be the implication if we are going to apply any particular algorithm of AI on those data. AI adds intelligence to existing products. There is nothing like we are going to devise any new system based upon AI. We are just keep on adding whatever the existing systems are provided to us, AI to them. Like prior also we were using the televisions. Televisions are there from the long time, but now AI has dominated them. In television only, we have embedded the facility of AI. What AI does there, it tries to find out the behavior of the user, which type of shows or movies the particular user is interested in to watch. So they are using the recommendation system based upon the user's choice, based upon their time slot, what is the particular time slot in which they are much interested to watch the things. these type of intelligence are getting added to the existing product. There is nothing like that. Any new product is coming up, whatever the existing things are there, we are trying to advance those things. We are trying to make those things more intelligent in the way by adding the artificial intelligence to it. AI adapts through the learning algorithm to let the data do the programming. So continuous progressive learning algorithms, like different learning algorithms are being applied. If one is not working well, we have to try on it. So with AI, we are having an opportunity to do the trial and error method. As I have told prior only the definition of AI, we can see in a simple manner, very simplistic way that AI is a bunch of multiple if-else statements. Multiple if-elses are there. We are trying this and that, and whichever way we are going to get the correct answer because we are trying. This is the way similar if anything new comes to us. No one is there to make us learn. We also try to learn in a similar way. AI analyzes more and deeper data using neural networks that have many hidden layers. We are having the facility of artificial neural network in AI. We are having the facility of deep learning also. And these two are working based upon the arrangement of neurons in the multiple layers. We have some hidden layers also, and these layers are responsible to extract the features at each different stage and respond accordingly. Further, the main facility available with these type of networks are if our system is not working properly, we are getting any type of error also. These systems can adjust those errors by comparing them with the required output, and they keep on training their model so that accuracy should be reached to the higher level. Achieves incredible accuracy through the deep neural networks, the point which we have discussed. AI gets the most out of data. AI tries to extract as much information it can from the data because data is the only thing which is available to us for designing of the systems related to AI. So through AI, we are trying to extract as much knowledge we can extract from the data. Next, we'll see the different possible examples. It's not possible to list out all the different phases, all the different applications where AI is going to be used. I have here listed out few important ones where AI is mainly in use, and these applications are very much in demand by the millions of people. AI plays its role in all the fields like healthcare, transport, agriculture, education, e-commerce, entertainment, robotics, automotive, social media, data security, finance, gaming, astronomy. So we all are dealing with all
Hello.
this type of different fields everywhere,
Hello.
somewhere we need to get consulted, and we might have seen also that
अरे यार मेरे को
there
अभी
they
मीटिंग
news
है
to
मीटिंग में
how they know, they
कॉल
are
कर रहे
knowing
हैं
the
बाद में
things, how
करना.
they are predicting about us. We have not disclosed our information to anyone. Still, we are getting the calls from the finance company that if you need this type of support, we are ready to help you. We are even getting the calls from the different, if we want to take, suppose we want to take an admission for the higher education. So many institutions, we are getting the offer from them that this is the different courses run by us. These are the different areas of interest. According to you, you can choose the courses offered by our institute. So how the systems are working there? They're using the concept of AI for the recommendation systems. So one of the best example for related to AI, which is much in use, is Nest. What this Nest deals with? It is a smart home automation system. Through Nest gives us the facility to adapt to the room temperature condition. Through Nest, we are able to adapt to the temperatures which are provided in the room. It tries to know, according to the humans, which type of temperature is more suitable to them. Like for example, if I'm using this application Nest and I'm suitable to the temperature, more comfortable in a temperature of 26 degree to 27, so it will observe my behavior, and accordingly from the next time, if it senses that my presence is there in a room, it will adjust the room temperature with respect to same. It also having the facility that it will check out what is the position of my mobile phone, and based upon the position of my mobile phone, it will see that to save the energy, it will change the temperature value which can less utilize the energy. So these are the different facilities available to the Nest. It uses the concept of AI by determining the different requirements of the particular user and accordingly adjusting the different parameters. It can also help in making a call to the Uber. It can also help in giving us the knowledge about the outside temperature. Everything, so many facilities are being provided in the Nest. Second one is Pandora, very much required one related to the entertainment purpose. Pandora, it is an application which is related to the recommendation for the music lovers. It understands the genre of the user, in which type of category the user is much interested, and accordingly, Pandora recommends it. Netflix. Not needed to give any explanation for the Netflix. All of us are aware of it, and during this pandemic situation, all of us have used it a lot also. So, one point to be mentioned here regarding the Netflix, that the recommendation engine for the Netflix has won an award for the $1 million, because whenever they are giving a recommendation to the users, it has been observed that 85 to 90%, their accuracy is 85 to 90%. 90% time the users are utilizing those recommendations, and it has won an award for the $1 million. Box ever. This is an advisory decision making, or we can say it is like a personalization based upon the customer's requirement. If any customer is there, so it is mostly going to be used by the business companies where they are dealing with their different customers. So based upon their customer, it tries to personalize every customer, and it considers them as every customer on the priority list. And based upon the history of those customers, which type of requirement is needed by the customers, it gives the response to them. Drones, that is belonging to the Amazon Prime era. This is a new invention and the new technology going to be implemented by the Amazon. Amazon Prime Air is now trying to deliver the product through the drones, and it will like a vertical takeoff flight and landing on also vertically, and it's in a still in a development stage, and Amazon is in a phase for delivering the products through the Amazon Prime Air. Amazon Echo. This is also very much in use by everyone. So this is like a system where we try to communicate whatever is the requirement given by us. So basically, I would like to differentiate here between the Nest and Amazon Echo. That Amazon Echo is an application which is based upon machine learning and deep learning, and Nest, this is more having the application related to AI. How these two applications are getting different. Nest, what it does, it senses and it automatically does it. But in Amazon Echo, each time it has to get trained with respect to. Training is much needed in the Amazon Echo software, but with respect to Nest, it is having the capability of training also, but it is having some features for the theory of mind stage also for the different categories which we have seen prior for artificial intelligence. These are the different applications related to AI in the different fields. Like we are using the AI in mechanical engineering also, we are using AI in civil engineering also. So how AIs are going having their much implication in the different fields. For example, if I'm using the artificial intelligence in mechanical engineering, what can be the benefits? As we all know that we are on the mechanical engineering stream, all the computer science, anything, we are developing the things virtually. We can say like that our products, but when we want to implement it as a physical device, we are dependent upon the mechanical systems. We want a device to get designed. What will be the benefit if these two fields are getting combined? Because they are designing the devices, they are accumulation, they are doing the collection of all those parts required to design the particular device. And if AI concept is enabled in those formation of those devices, it is definitely going to give us a better result, better performance of those devices, and it will be a better world too. Artificial intelligence also playing a very vital role in the construction site through the different devices which are using at the construction site. If we are enabling the features of AI in that, the AI will enable them to take the decision process very fast, and it will be more accurate. Like for example, for the Burj Khalifa, it is using the concept of continuous structure monitoring. So the AI system which is being enabled there is continuous structure monitoring. So they are continuously monitoring the structure of the Burj Khalifa. If any problem is there, through the AI systems, they are coming to know that the problem is there, and they try to rectify it as immediately as possible. There's no need that it should have some physical signs of those problems to be displayed. Through AI, before any damage can be done, at the initial stage only, they are coming to know about these things. Cogito. This is related to emotional intelligence, and it gives the recommendation based upon the different emotions of the user. These are further different applications where with respect to the mechanical and automotive engineering, we are going to use the different application like Tesla. Siri is one of the application used by the Apple products, very much personalized one, making their phones very much personalized. Tesla, it is a self-driving car having all the features enabled in them, can analyze the signals on the road. It can take the decision based upon the scenario. Even it can able to drive freely on the freeways for few defined kilometers where no obstructions can be there. So, and so many upcoming developments also getting on these different stages also. Next, coming to our main point of today's session, that is AI in healthcare. Artificial intelligence playing very important role here. Why we need the AI in healthcare? So, artificial intelligence is poised to become a transformational force in healthcare. Why this transformational force is required in terms of AI? How will providers and patients benefit from the impact of AI driven tools? Artificial intelligence simplifies the lives of patients, doctors, and hospital administrators by performing tasks that are typically done by humans but in less time and at a fraction of the cost. So, what this statement means to us, as we know that if we have to go to the hospital, first we have to take an appointment, we have to consult, we have to check whether the availability of a doctor, follow the queue, and again, so many paperwork are required. But if all this work is getting summarized, it is going to save the time of doctors also. The treatment is going to be more precise. The time of patient will also will save. And overall, in a summary way, we can say it's going to improve the health condition of our country. Why we need AI in healthcare? AI are going to give us more accurate clinical decisions. Why clinical decisions are important? These clinical decisions are the point where the dependency of the patient is there. The decisions which are being taken by the doctors, the decisions are based upon the different several reports of the patients like pathological report, radiology report, CT scans. Based upon these, the doctors are going to take the decision. Sometimes it may happen that the human error can be there. There can be the error related to machine also, but if a huge amount of data and very minute observation has to be done, our systems are going to work well there. So to get the more accurate clinical decisions, we need AI in our healthcare system. Critical considerations. Critical consideration in the respect of increase in the cases of diseases or increase in the cases of medical practitioner as compared to the growth of the population and in the terms of the problems getting increased related to the health matter, our country's health system is not much capable to handle all these things. So if we are moving on towards the AI side in the healthcare, which is much needed for our country, these critical consideration part can be evolved much better. It's going to improve the efficiencies in terms of recovery rate of the patients. Definitely when we are going to serve our patient in a less amount of time, in a more precise way and in a more accurate manner, it is going to improve the efficiency of the hospitals. Early detection of diseases. So many applications have been designed through which few signs can be provided, and based upon those signs, early detection can be done. Like anyone, because of some genetic problem, if they are suffering from the diabetes 1, it can be predicted that what are the chances that it can move on to the diabetes stage 2. Anyone, any doctor can just recommend you through some experiences, but it is not going to be possible with the different parameters. But if we are going through the AI, it will not based upon some previous experience. It will also include the parameters being provided for your disease of type 1, and it will analyze with respect to how many other users with the similar type of symptoms have moved on to the type 2. So they can take the precaution much prior, and it can be the health condition of the particular patient can be improved. Round the clock digital assistance. So if we are moving towards through the digital assistance in the medical field, we can provide the service to the patient 24 by 7 as this through the digitally. Nowadays also we used to get calls, and we might have received so many messages from the different hospital that if we are not much in need of any healthcare system, we can communicate with the doctors through the different applications, through the medical chat bots, through online systems. Through this, we are having a facility of digital assistance 24 by 7. It's not required to wait for a particular time to visit to the doctor and get their recommendations. It's going to reduce the cost. The cost of the healthcare system will be reduced drastically because all the things are going to be managed online through the data being transferred from one place to another place. There is no need for physically transferring of data. Suppose I'm doing a cardiac test, then I'm moving on to the radiology. I have to collect the test reports from the pathology lab, then again move on to collect the reports from the radiology, and then visiting to the doctors to show them how it's working. So every data is going to be at one place. After the test reports are ready, there is no need of physical transfer of data. There will be the reduction in the cost. There will be reduction of cost in terms of time, in terms of efficiency. It's going to be increased. These are some major applications where we can see that these are you can subsets where AI of in healthcare can be applied, as in terms of from the aspect of the patient side, telehealth, doctors aspect in terms of healthcare in AI, research aspect of AI in healthcare. We'll see each one in further in detail. So AI in terms of patient side, the very important one, the first and very basic simple thing, chatbots. As the students are there, they might have designed some chatbot as their mini projects. So every time we are doing the chatbot, so many websites, if we open up a website to search anything, usually they have a chatbot there, the recommendations that they are used to talk, they're asking what is the problem, how they can assist it. Similarly, there are so many chatbots available to us in the medical field, and here they are called as a medical chatbot or healthcare chatbots. These chatbots' role is that it's not necessary that the doctor is available physically to answer your queries. It can be possible that based upon some common symptoms and common answers, already your chatbot has been trained. So whatever the question you are providing to the chatbot, your chatbot is capable to give you a response, and its accuracy is usually measured between 80 to 90%. The chatbot, healthcare chatbots refers to the different specialists, dentists, psychiatrists, hospital management systems, mental health clinics, medical insurance companies, alternative and holistic health centers, medical spas, medical supply stores, pharmacies. Wearable technologies. We, as a youngster, so many students might have been very fancy towards the wearable technologies, smartwatch, smart Google glasses, but what these have implications? They are, with respect to healthcare also, they are going to play a very important role. How these things, how they are playing important role, that is in terms of through these devices, through these wearable technology, we are able to monitor our heart rate, we are able to monitor our BP, oxygen measurement can also be done, and the devices can be used in our shoes, in our glasses, watches. Even these devices can be the sensors, we can embed the sensors in our chairs, the sensors can be embedded in our beds to monitor us. There's a sleep therapy also with respect to the wearable devices. So these devices nowadays, so much development have been done that they are able to monitor all the health parameters related to how much time we need to sleep, whether we are sleeping properly or not. What we were thinking at the time of, I mean, these devices nowadays they became so much capable that they can even analyze our subconscious minds also. Precision medicine, very important thing, that is with respect to person's particular attitude, person's more personalized way. Usually it happens, but through this precision medicine, that is through AI in healthcare, with respect to the precision medicine, it is an approach where the disease treatment and prevention can be done to the person with respect to its own individual parameters related to its genes, environment, lifestyle, medical history, and the family members. So through this precision medicine, it is being analyzed that which type of treatment is more suitable. Like simply if I'm having a simple cold and cough, I'm sneezing, another person is also sneezing. So instead of going to a doctor, what we do, we choose to take a simple Vicks inhaler or any medicine which we are taking that it will give me a relief from cold and cough. But the symptoms are similar between two persons, but it is not compulsory that the medical history behind those particular symptoms or other parameters which are responsible to give you those signs of a disease going to be common. So through precision medicine, the AI is trying to recommend the things specifically for each patient separately by taking into consideration each one on a priority basis and more customized personalized way of treating the patients. Mental health, very important and much needed in our society. might be we are not aware, but it happens that any one person out of the five are suffering from the stress, grief, anxiety, depression. They are frustrated or they are feeling shameful for any activity. But in India, we have faced this problem also that no one's so much capable to express their personal problems, express their mental health condition to anyone. Through AI, we can develop different projects or different applications which can help the people to overcome these conditions. Everyone is not compatible or not comfortable to discuss their problem with any doctor, any psychiatrist, or anyone. So to help those type of people, we can develop the systems where these things can be analyzed by some questions, by some recommendations, by giving them some therapy recommendations, so that their mental health can be improved. They can get free from the stress. They can get free from the grief which they are having. One of our students at the MIT University, they have developed a website called as a Secure Skull, and this is related to their psychological condition analysis. And it's even it is possible that I'm saying that I'm mentally fit in the health. I don't have any depression. I am not in a stress, but the things are not known to us. Maybe I'm suffering from any of these. So through that website, they are trying to analyze the condition of the people, and if they are suspecting any problem, they are going through some psychological question answer round, then doing some AI based upon related to these questionnaires. They are putting some logic, they are training their model based upon the data collected through thousands of people, and then they are doing the recommendation system. Women health, another important factor. Women are less conscious about their health. Usually it happens, but we need to be more conscious. And if we are applying some AI concept related to the different problems which women can face in their medical history, and we can come to know that usually it happens that we used to ignore the problems initially, and when the problems get worse, then we try to resolve it. So instead of doing those things, we can take care of our health properly and in a defined, proper manner, so that we should not reach the stage. So one of the institute, one of the clinic is there like Mayo Clinic. It is using, they have developed a technology to analyze the mammogram, which is giving much better results compared to the analysis of a doctor. So their devices and their system is giving much accuracy, and this accuracy is required that sometimes it may happen that the false detection is getting done, and through their devices for the mammogram, false detection, that is false negative and false negative count, which is required for the accuracy, it is getting reduced, and they are focusing, the result is more improved with respect to the true positive cases. Skin health, or example which we might have seen on so many social medias, sometimes so many messages coming to us that check your skin, they are giving the recommendations. Applications are there, we might have, I have seen on the Facebook that so many websites are there, they're asking you to just click your selfie, provide your selfie to them, they will analyze your skin through the lab images. Lab images means they are going to take your image as a test image. Already they have trained the multiple images based upon the previous history data collected. Then they will try to analyze your skin health, what kind of recommendations they can provide you related to improvement of your skin health. So skin health, this is working on the basis of the deep learning technology, analyzing the image of the face, and then further doing some recommendation based upon it. AI for healthcare operation management and patient experience. So we need to manage the data of the patients in a proper order so that it should not lead to any problem either related to waiting in a queue, fear of some unreasonable bills, the long drawn and overly complex appointment process, and not getting access to the right healthcare professionals. If we are trying to manage the things through the AI, it is possible that all these problems can be resolved. Next point will be related to importance of AI in healthcare from the doctor's point of view. So from the doctor's point of view, it will consider also the aspect in which the hospital management system is working. So hospital management system keep on the records for the data for the patient in terms of electronic health records. Electronic health record, this is the data which is being stored for every patient. They are going to store the data, and it is going to include the parameters, like it will include all your information related to your medical history, what is your age, which particular medicines you have been prescribed prior, whether you are suspect to any allergy, and all these things are going to be stored electronically. Nowadays, also these facilities are there, but they are in terms of the paper. So through EHRs, it is going to reduce paperwork. EHRs will get us the information more accurately into the hands of people who are going to read it and analyze it. It will help our doctors to coordinate our care and protect our safety. EHRs are going to reduce unnecessary tests and procedures. How we can see that EHRs can reduce unnecessary tests and procedures? It can be explained in a way that suppose I have visited to one doctor for any test, and then that doctor has checked that I'm facing through some problem, and during that problem he has recommended some test to me. When I tested for it, I got the reports and the prescription which is being provided and the recommendation provided by that doctor, I'm not much satisfied with it. So what will I do? I'll try to approach to the another doctor. If this doctor is again trying to convince me or asking me to go for the similar type of test, instead of going with the test, I would like to go for the test. I would like to show the reports. But usually, in the current scenario, if for the same problem we try to visit two different doctors, they don't use to check their reports. They ask us to do the testing again. So, if we are maintaining our records through the EHR, instead of wasting our time to again do this testing and all, the recommendation can be given to us more precisely and in a fast manner. EHRs give you direct access to your health records also. This is the health data management cloud, and this concept uses the AI with respect to big data and the cloud management system. So this is being used to manage your whole data through the hospital system. So in data management cloud, whenever a patient is approaching to a doctor, its prior history is being analyzed. Their particular feature the professional testing or medical advice. Health management centers can receive summary data, evaluate community health risks. So overall, the role of this health management cloud is to manage the data of the patient, hospital, and doctors all at one place. So if we want to develop something like this in a small scale also for some like we want to develop some project based upon this, I can recommend a system where we can use the storage of the patient data on the cloud and by securing the data, because it's very important part that patients data are very critical data, it has to be stored properly. Security is very important there. So we can use the concept of blockchain also. So blockchain with AI in healthcare can be implemented here to store your huge amount of data by using big data technologies, and then further securing your data to transfer the data from doctor to the radiologist or from radiologist to the doctor, because multiple people are going to be involved in this one through your blockchain technology. Very important one, that is the virtual robot surgery. Virtual robot surgery nowadays it's becoming upcoming thing, and it's much needed because it's possible that anyone needs a surgery and doctor is not present here in the particular city. That can also be done virtually. And another important thing is that now machines are performing the surgery. How these machines are going to perform surgery? These machines are capable to do the surgery in a way that some instructions are being given to us. For small things directly based upon their trained system, they can perform it. And also we have the thing where the doctors can sit on the computer console, and through the console with their team, they are giving the instructions to the machine. We'll have a look for this robotic surgery through a small video. Through this video, it is being explained how the robotic surgery is getting performed. So we are seeing here the doctors are uploading to the computer console, and also the recovery rate can be faster through this robotic surgeries. These are the different things where the doctors are analyzing the patient through the radiologies. Different scan images are present to them. These scan images are getting analyzed in a faster order. Instead of analyzing the report physically, your AI system will analyze the report and they will recommend the doctor what the analysis they have done. So as many images are there, whenever we used to do scan, we might have experienced that doctors don't refer to all them. Sometimes we used to get 50 to 60 scan images, and it is really difficult in their busy schedule to refer to all those images in a very minute way to analyze the things. Through the AI systems, through the systems which are using the concept of deep learning there in for analyzing the brain tumors or to identify the cancer treatments or analyzing any images of our body parts for disease detection, these systems can be working very well and in an efficient manner. Telehealth. Telehealth deals with the telemedicine. That is, where we are going to consult to make a personal visit to the doctors and ask them for the recommendation. We can do it through the online also. We can have an online consultation through the online. The doctors will analyze and observation by the doctor is required. In that cases also, it can reduce the burden on the hospital. It can save the time of doctor and patient both. So during the working of the telehealth, the scenario for working is like this. Electronic medical record are present to us. Doctors are going to do the diagnosis based upon the data given provided to them. They are creating a treatment plan, and based upon the plan is being provided to the users, patients, and the patients will adhere to the plan. They also have to do some self-monitoring because it is required. No one physically present there to monitor them. So self-monitoring is required here by the patient, and whatever the monitoring they are doing, also they have to report it to the doctors. Based upon that, their plan is going to be assessed, and if required, the treatment plan is going to be updated. And this technology is going to use the concept of natural language processing with AI, because whenever the users are providing their input, it will be in terms of the textual manner. It is required for your system to do the analysis by analyzing what actually the problem the particular patient is facing. So to analyze the problem, we need to analyze it text in through natural language processing and then further combining it with the AI. Very important role which is very upcoming, and it's maybe for a few more years, and every time this will be in evolution phase only. AI and ML techniques are increasingly being chosen by big names in the pharma industry to develop the different type of drugs, to evolve the drugs which can be beneficial. For COVID-19, SARS-CoV-2 also, we are in a stage for developing the vaccine. So many vaccines have been developed till now. So many countries are still in a phase to discover it. So one of the pharmacy company in the Hyderabad, they came to know that for SARS-CoV-2, there is a presence of protease protein which is required for the development, which is required for the that particular virus to replicate itself. So they how they came to know that this, because of this presence of this protein only, the presence of this virus is getting replicated itself. So they need to develop something which can inhibit the growth of this protease protein so that the persons can recover faster, or they won't get susceptible to the COVID-19. So these are the different research where AI is playing a very important role. They are doing some clinical trials also related to prediction of diseases by analyzing the symptoms of the patient or any normal person also. What are the chances that they can suffer from any particular disease? It is not always the thing that if we are going to suffer from any disease, we are going to show the symptoms from the initial stage. It may happen that in few cases, the symptoms can be shown in the latter stage. So through the system, if we are doing a continuous monitoring for our health system, we can do analyze it proper and at the initial stage also. It is playing the research in terms of genetics also, trying to analyze the genes of the person, how heredity matters. If in if anyone's parents or anyone in the ancestral history are suffering from diabetes or blood pressure, usually we say that particular person are the chances higher that they can suffer from the BP or they can suffer from the diabetes. How these things are getting related and what can be the possibilities in which this trend can be reduced. by doing the genetic analysis research of AI in healthcare. As we have seen the several examples where AI can be applied in the multiple ways in the healthcare, not sufficient one, but these were the some basics required one where we can do, and also we can do more development in these field also. Still, we are not in a stage of applying AI in healthcare. There are so many limitations. What are these limitations referring to? Limitations of AI in healthcare will be related to artificial intelligence cannot solve all the issues in health. Very true, because the human touch is a great relief. Always we say that if we are in a bad mood or we are feeling low, any near or dear ones, their touch or their even a simple message also, it brightens our mood, it changes it. In a similar way, related to health issue also, when we approach to a doctor, when they talk to us, when they touch us, their sympathic touch, their touch of a confidence, which gives us a relief that definitely we are going to recover and in a much better way. Definitely, these things can't be provided by AI. After all, AI, the machines, even the robots which are going to be designed through the AI, are going to be the virtual machine part. They are machinery. They don't have the feelings which the humans can have. Implementation of AI is a true challenge. It's really difficult because whenever we are implementing AI technology anywhere, we have to make our system compatible to it. The persons who are going to use, we have to upgrade their knowledge, we have to train them properly so that they should be able to adapt the new technology in their system. Better regulations to control AI in healthcare. As discussed prior, that whenever we are storing the patient data, it's required to be controlled in a proper manner, because it happened in US last year that the patient data for 100 patients from a hospital has been changed, means their data, all the records have been maintained in the online, and whatever the prescription they provided to them in the hospital, all of it they admitted to the hospital. The medicines which were prescribed to them was being changed by some hacker, and it has led to the massive panic there. So whenever we are dealing with the things related to medical record, we have to be very keen, and very much important security features has to be embedded there so that it should not be stolen, or no one should misuse it, or no one should hamper it. Future decision making with artificial intelligence, with respect to artificial, and if we are predicting that maybe chances are there the person can suffer from a disease, it can be normal to few people, but for few people they can't accept, it can be a difficult situation for them. So in a one way, as we can say, everything has both positive and negative side. When we are going with this of a future predictive way for AI, it can lead to a positive side also, it can lead to a negative side also. Bioethics and artificial intelligence. Whenever we are going to work out with any project related to artificial intelligence healthcare, we have to follow compulsory the guidelines provided to us by the government of India, and they are having some ethics rules and regulation which has to be followed, that whenever we are doing any testing or we are performing the test on a human body, we need to take the proper permissions. Whenever we are analyzing the data, all the possible rules and guidelines has to be followed. AI cannot replace empathy. A very true and a hard fact which has to be accepted. Still, as a technology person, we are in a phase of evolving the things. We want the things to get developed through the AI. But it's very true that AI cannot replace the empathy. Competent professionals are required for complex digital technologies. The technologies are going should be understood by the persons who are going to use it, the way in which the analysis can be done, or the way in which the data capturing has to be performed. All the proper training has to be given to all the professionals who are going to be related to these technologies. That's all from my side. Thank you everyone for patiently listening to me. Soumya ma'am, any questions?
Thank you, ma'am, for such an informative session. You explained about the need of AI in healthcare for more accurate clinical decision, and you have explained how nicely it can be used for early detection of diseases. We have seen how robotic surgery is performed by using AI. So thank you for such an informative session, and I believe they are very much pertinent and relevant in today's age of technology.
Thank you, ma'am.
Madam, there are some queries in the chat box posted
Yes,
by
ma'am.
some of the participants. So I will read out those queries for you
Sure.
and request you to please address them.
Sure, ma'am, please.
Uh, One of the participants has asked, can we use reinforcement learning in healthcare?
Reinforcement learning actually it deals with the something where it's a combination for supervised and unsupervised learning. But the way in which we are implementing it, we have to be more cautious because it is related to healthcare things. So depending upon the way or the problem statement in which we are applying, accordingly the decision can be taken. We can't say that for all the different type of application it can be applied.
Okay, ma'am. Uh, Another student has asked one doubt. What is the role of AI in current pandemic situation and personal health care?
AI, as I have discussed regarding the vaccine also, that one of the pharma company in Hyderabad, they are developing for it. Beyond that, so many other aspects are there. Like through AI, we are able to develop a COVID-19 dashboard. We are able to see that for a particular location, if I'm keeping a record for the people who are have been suffered from it and what were the parameters because of that they came in contact with which other people because of that they suffered. So what is the possibility that the people in the nearby range of the particular area can suffer from it? Like one of the best example which AI is playing for COVID-19 in a current pandemic situation is our Arogya Setu app. This app is really getting it's benefiting all the users, and that's why it has been made mandatory by the government of India also. And through this technologies which are provided there, we all are getting benefited from it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you so much for answering. There is one more query in the chat box. It says that in future AI can replace doctors in medical field. So, what are your views on that? Is it possible?
Ma'am, my personal view, and even I can say it can be the view of so many doctors and even AI technocrats also, that it's not possible that AI can replace. AI will always be there. We are going to be in a phase where in the healthcare, AI with the medical professionals are going to develop and to maintain our healthcare system better. But it is not possible that AI will replace our healthcare professionals.
That's I too believe. There is one more query, ma'am. How much computer vision can be implemented in healthcare in coming years in India?
Computer vision definitely, because for predicting any disease, like it has become a very normal scenario nowadays that whenever we visit, even suffering from simple problems, stomach ache, or we are having sprain in our leg, we have to go through some image capture, image scanning through to the radiologist, and these images has to be scanned properly, and so many minute observations are there. So to observe these observations and to analyze the details from these images, computer vision is going to play a role there.
Okay, ma'am. So there are many more questions, but since we are running out of time, so we will be answering those queries through mail. One more
Sure,
question we can
ma'am.
take. One more question we can take here.
Yes, ma'am.
Uh, Among natural language processing, computer vision, neural network, deep network, which subset has most potential to develop in coming years?
All this, ma'am, these all subsets have their own importance with respect to the application. We can't say that the natural language processing is going to be evolved more or deep learning is only going to be. There are applications based upon that. What outcome is required for those applications? We have to select the appropriate algorithm for it. It is not possible to just say that this particular one can be evolved because all these are working as a part of a AI, and not with AI only, with so many other technology things also, as I had discussed prior, that not only related to the computer field, with respect to the other fields also, they are getting combined, and with application in those fields, everyone is going to have their own importance.
For
Thank you,
addressing
ma'am.
these queries,
I
ma'am,
hope
and
I
I
have
hope
cleared the doubts of the
this
participants.
must have yes, I hope I mean, this must have clarified the doubts that participants had. Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
ma'am.
ma'am, for a wonderful session. Now, I would like to request Dr. Sunita Pal, madam, to please give a vote of thanks.
Thank you, Soumya ma'am. Such a wonderful session. A very good evening to everyone. On behalf of Research and Development Cell of Saraswati College of Engineering, I, Dr. Sunita Pal, feels privileged to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of those who work hard to make this event a success. First of all, I thank our speaker, Dr. Deepa Parasar Madam, for her valuable time in the uncertain time of COVID-19 and imparting us such an enriched, insightful session which has benefited all of us. I would like to express my gratitude to our Honorable Principal Madam, Dr. Manjusha Deshmukh, for her constant encouragement for conducting such webinars in this difficult time. Madam always welcome new ideas and initiative from staff and support ideas and initiatives from all of us. And without Madam's help and support, this would have not been possible. Thank you, Madam, for your non-ending support and guidance whenever required. I thank all our deans and HODs for their valuable contribution and guidance. I thank our R&D head Suhasini Madam for taking initiative to conduct this webinar. I thank my energetic R&D team for your excellent coordination to conduct this event. And most special thanks to all the faculties and students from different parts of country for joining us. You are the main reason for the success of this event. Last but not the least, a big thank you to each one of you who made this event successful. Thank you very much. Stay happy and stay safe. With this, I conclude the session.
Thank you, ma'am.